For one solidarity visit by the Edo South Journalists Forum to the All Progressive Grand Alliance Party candidate for Edo State 2024 gubernatorial election, Dr. Isaiah Osifoh, them shower praises on Dr. Isaiah for his contributions to politics and development of the state during his time for government and the work they do now.
It was put together ostensibly to promote our sons and daughters who are doing very well in politics, in business, in education, in commerce, and everything. And we look at it and say that even in this political era, so on behalf of Edo South Journalists Forum, because this body came because we now saw that we have a FEMA Journalist Forum in AUJ. We have Ishan. So the Benis were lacking. And I said, no, this is our land. We own the land. Let us also do something. So this body was set up about 8 months ago, to be precisely. That's why we're here. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Dr. Isaiah Osifoh, while they talk to journalists, thank them for their visits, emphasize say politicians supposed to serve others. He urged people of Edo State, make them not vote for party, but for the character of the person where they run for the office. He also adds, say the right thing need to be done for Edo State to move forward.
Men like politics, men like we see. Men like politics in Edo, men like Eko, which means Osege party. Igare we menedia tima kwa we bege retire colonel diase vitamia we mero sige party usige o meye and the real definition of Osege is a responsible politician. It's only here in Africa I man not corrupt a politician as a man who just a big liar on the street and stealing public funds. But developed countries like the United States, Britain, the politician is the most responsible person in the society who has time for himself and has time for others. Because you have time for others, that is why they now call you a politician. Because you are not only bothered by yourself, you are bothered about others, their welfare, their concern, the community. Others are sleeping, you are busy working on their behalf. That is a politician. So on here do Osege Omonoro Osege so where nigori ni where yari right but o give away nigbema obigbema ha here where kasike ya owo nile because that is more urgent than if I ni mo here we've gone through all that. School fees is pending. Somebody that is not a member of the family has an urgent issue to address. You want to solve that issue first before you pay your children's school fees. Only on Rosegeo. So Igwe Menala. When I go to campaign, I say, read it, everything I have done. If this is someone, not even everything I put here. As chairman of council, I knew when I walk to somebody here, if there's someone I say, like, please don't vote for me. But if there's anything, if everything I wrote here is true, I think I'm the best man in this context. Nobody has said you are lying, because I don't lie. And I have no reason to lie. I didn't join politics because of money. So we are being city people, but we are rurally based. This is my grandfather's house, not even my father's house. We were the first villagers to come to Benin, residing near Benin. But what excites me is good relationship. So in school, university, and I saw humility in developed people. I was with pastors in yesterday. The God of America is not the God of Orion. Why are we like this? Ask them. I met with pastors yesterday. Why are we like this? If it's the same God, why are we like? Have you asked yourself as a man of God? If the same God that they are serving in America is what we are serving here, why are we like? So God hates us? I don't think God hates us. But the black man hates themselves.
Yes.
We are not stupid, but unfortunately, the black men that are in leadership make us look like we are stupid. I watched the Democratic Convention yesterday. I didn't sleep until 4 a.m. I was waiting for Hillary Clinton's speech. You know, she was one of the spokes at the late tapper. I wanted to listen to her, but this other woman is talking. I learned a lot of things. You look at convention. You see human beings in politics.
Yes.
They are talking about morality.
Yes.
Yes, so don't talk about candidate. They didn't talk about Republican. They were talking about Donald Trump.
Yes.
And tell Americans, don't vote for Donald Trump because of this. Nobody talks about party again.
No.
They talk about character. Who is that person that wants to be president of America? Who is that person that wants to be prime minister of Britain? Nobody talk about party in Britain. They talk about, don't talk about person. Just address this. Which issue? Everything is about character. They dodge it because they have no name to say. Don't talk about Keo, don't mention name. As I say, don't mention name. Why would I not mention name? If I'm not going to mention, why am I contesting? So I want to thank you for coming to say I'm really honored that as we be able to not like sweet politics in Igwe. There's something I'm happy people are here that I really been careful saying to the public. Because I don't want to be tagged as travelist. I'm not a travelist. Never, and I will never be. I have people friends. I read in UNN. Most of the professors are see my mentor tomorrow. I have answers that are my bosom friends. I have Yoruba, of course, maybe because of I've been a national guy. So I have friends over the country, good guys. Try don't determine your character, brother. It's the person. But I asked my people here in Edo South Central District. PDP was formed in the Bermuda's house. I said, Binima. Why am I not forming PDP? I was the council chairman of that PDP. And I was chairman of 4 chairmen. We got to a point in PDP, we were nowhere to be found in PDP in Nigeria. The party now move on. We go Bermuda. Deputy National Secretary of PDP, yes. Member of National Work Committee, National Woman Leader,
later Minister.
In the then Otima, a retired brigadier and lawyer, ran for that Deputy National Secretary. And I will tell you the Massive Convention where my leader dawa or no magwalowa no kudoyari, and he did those who voted against Idada. Then where we do the honor with Deputy National Secretary or here National Woman Leader. So I took a National Working Committee, no party, and the party. We are nowhere to be found. So for you to be a councillor here, you need it.
Yes. Yeah.
You have to go there and ask for their support to be a councillor here. Yes. Remember, minister, national woman leader. Deputy national leader, chairman board of trustees. Go through. I'm not in this contest for money or for popular. I'm doing it for the people. And I tell my brother, I take my bag, I go on holiday in UK, I can eat there. But yeah, because it's taking man. But let people not sympathize with me. They should ask themselves question, what are you doing? I want to Catholic something organization on Sunday at St. Joseph. After I addressed them, the chairman said question and answer. The young man, oh no, we have had it. We should not get anyway. Young man, you're not helping me, help yourself. Because I give me about my money. All of the governor elsewhere, my money. I am not against an innocent man becoming a governor. But 2 things that you must give to me. You must give me merit. You must give me equity. After Osumbo ran APC primaries, if you allow the Ishan to choose, they will be stupid to leave Osumbo and pick the one that children are using to do TikTok. Yes, some people are not stupid. Don't try to convince me. On one area to say, also any man. And I'm against God for that reason. Now, for equity, I'm a governor for 8 years. Was there any time I'm a minister? For 8 years, the Miami governor under Loki Benedio. Was there time I was Miami a minister? Okay, the Minister of Niger Delta Development Affairs, Abubakar Momo, was my colleague in the local government during my first 10 years. He's from Edo North, the Circle East. Now, if you now give governor to Edo Central, which I'm not against, if that is what they wish, what is for Edo South? What is for Edo South? So, already raised an argument one way PDP and say, oh, Benue people have never there's a particular tribe in Benue here we governor man I'm one but there should be a equilibrium one we governor here we know well now that some people are not saying we governor here name merit we governor here name equity so you from Edo start working they know you are aware now whereas a man governor Emanike Odore normal sell more than Orion and Wunde in landmass. Yes. In landmass, Orion and Wunde is bigger than Edo Central. In population, Oredo is bigger than them. So, but they are political, they are sagacious, they are clever. When we had governor, they had minister. Now we are saying let's governor go to them. Who is asking them now what is for us? So my aspiration is for merit and for equity without having any bias or hatred or anything against anybody in any senatorial district. I have bosom friends and family members in Edo Central, in Edo North. I don't want to be called a tribalist, but if I'm a politician of Kigwere, that day you have lost it. Yes. You have lost it. So what was so that I won't just take a long story.
From all you spoken, my yes, politician. If you are not telling us all you said, because I knew you 1999 when you won the local government chairmanship election. Then the late Henry Osawe was your secretary.
Oh yeah.
And apart from being a politician, you are a philanthropist. I think I can attest to two persons you single-handedly sponsored in the universities. Today, they are lawyers. Yes. One is Yengbe and Uji. So you can't about what more where you because we are on Nurugosi. And your humility has actually spoken more volumes about you. And I thank God that now you are aspiring. I was a Kinamaja or Gini, so about the video. A barren in the young way, Oduman or Robono, Bani, Riarona. Also, I can't have but what I continue to say in the national matter. If I want to say about what or man or Dolly Magisi, also about here. That has been my dispositions by God's grace when after September 2020 first governorship election in Edo State. The question I want to raise is what is going to be your plan for the educational sector that is being decayed in Edo State? If you look at primary schools in Edo State, particularly in Benin City, yes, Oshobole did the Red Roof, which was in Catapult Fund. If you go to this primary school at there's no chair. There's no chair.
Education is important to the development of any society, from the primary to the tertiary. But a governor that is sincere must first and foremost lay out the principle of accountability to the people, so that when the people are complaining, they will have basis to complain, or when they are praising, they will have basis to praise. Now, before I go directly to your question, sir, the first thing that I want the people of Edo State to know that the performance of any government can only be verified on the basis of the transparency and accountability of the chief executive of the state, which is the government. This is the eighth year of the present government of Edo State. This morning I was talking to a group of political supporters at Ikpobahe, and I told them what is difficult in telling Edo people the allocation that comes to Edo State. How much are we getting as a state from the federation account? A man said he's a technocrat. You are a good man. You love the people. They have put you in an office to work on their behalf. The money is not your money. That money that is coming from allocation is not your money. The internal revenue that is generated is not your money. Why are you hiding it from the owners of the money? And someone asked me, but you were a chairman of council. What did you do in your time? I said, in my time, Obasanjo was publishing allocations to local government and states. Yaradua inherited it. He got to a point, Buhari came to power. The man told Nigerians he came to fight corruption. He stopped the publication of these figures. And I said, so it was not an issue in my time because allocations to local government, to states were published. But I added that in the process of disbursement, I didn't disburse council fund alone. We had a cash disbursement committee. I integrated the vice chairman of council, the secretary of council, the leader of the legislature, and that is the councillor, the head of the councillor, and they were part of the cash disbursement committee because I knew from the beginning that that money was not my money. But let me tell you, even when you bring them in, they don't stop your discretion as the chief executive of the local government of the state. But for you to sit down in secrecy, single-handedly, and be disbursing public funds, it is a fraud. So I will rather say, I want to promise the people of Edo State that if I am elected as governor from day one, they will know the total amount that is credited to the account of Edo State from the Federation Allocation Committee and the total amount that is generated as internal revenue. On the basis of the revenues that are available to us, you now do a sectorial allocation. That comes in the issue of education. Now, funding education is not expensive, but they try to give you bogus projects, bogus policies, tablet, computer. Look, you don't start education from the roof. You start education from the base, and that is why most of our parents that attended just standard 6, if you had a father or a mother who had a standard 6 certificate, they were excellent in academics, comparable to what you have today as first degree holders, because they had a solid basic education. So my own approach to education will be, the first is basic education, the primary. There should be infrastructure for the primary schools, the building, the furniture, and the personnel. When you have that, you have a solid foundation for education at the primary, at the secondary. Now, when you have this infrastructure for teachings and learning, then you now graduate to computerization of education. Yes, we know that with the AI technology, codification, the children have to be exposed to computer learning on time. But you cannot expose a child to computer learning in an environment that is not conducive. Let me tell you, these issues don't need to be overemphasized. Because I have just told you, I was born in the village. I started my primary education from the village. Although I completed my high school in Benin City here, but in the village in those days, the teachers were qualified. In the village in those days, you have enough materials for learning and teaching. Now, if you go back to the base, then you have laid a solid foundation for secondary and tertiary education. For a man who had that kind of background, started school for the rural community, and was able to rise through the educational ladder, secondary, university, up to PhD in the United Kingdom. You should know that if I don't have value for education, like I tell people, what I invested in education can give me a duplex. I paid my school fees in the United Kingdom. I was on scholarship. Yes. So because I value education so much, and thank you that you have just mentioned to me, those you only know of 2 that maybe you are well. I have given scholarship to a lot of indigenes from my community and from my local government because I believe so much in education. So today I'm able to stand before Edo people that I want to be elected as governor because I'm confident of myself, of my educational background. I will emphasize education, quality education from primary to tertiary. Look at Ambrosale University. I met the PDP candidate in our church synod at Sabogdaura about 3 weeks ago. Yes, I met him. We were invited to the synod by the bishop of Sabogdaura diocese, and I asked them, you are a member of the governing council of Edo State University. I'm talking of Aswen Udalo now. This is not gossip because it was an open discussion. You are a member of the governing council of Edo State University. Is Edo State University a private school or a public school? Up to now, nobody has been able to give me the answer. And I said, okay, if it is assumed that it's a government school, why the discrepancy in the school fees between Ambrosale University and Edo State University? These are schools, the universities owned by the same government. Then one is paying a different school fees, the other one is paying another school fee. When Abu Salih established Bendel State University, which is now Abuja, it was free for everybody to enable the children of the common man to have access to university education. For 4 years, the governor of Edo State and his technical friend Osifoh ran Abu Salih University without a governing council. How do you run a university without a governing council? Now elections are coming, the Holy Land try to put something in place. I will give an excellent university education to the people of Edo State because I was opportune to attend good schools. Even though I came from a rural background, I attended the University of Nigeria, Suka. Any lion any day will tell you it's still one of the best universities. I attended one of the best universities in Nigeria. And by the grace of God, I schooled in the United Kingdom. So excellent university education is what I owe the people of Edo State. If the Iyamo is a private university, please let the owner come forward and pay us what they spend here so that we can use it to better work. If it's not a private university, I will regularize the school fees to be a university owned by government with public fees. Same with what they are paying in Abu Salih University. So be sure that if Isaiah Osifoh is governor, since I left office, I've been a university teacher. I teach and I research. Yes, so I cannot be a teacher in the classroom and I have opportunity to be a governor, that I will have defective educational system in my state. That will be, we will do a budget based on our location, a quality budget that will give us a quality education from the tertiary level, from the primary level to the tertiary level. I am a teacher. I am always in academics. And even politics is supposed to be an academic exercise, whereby you ventilate ideas to bring about best policies that can serve the people best. So everything I do is about academics. Therefore, education is going to be a priority for my government if the people of Edo State are kind enough to elect me as the governor of Edo State.
There's no doubt that when you become the governor of Edo State tomorrow, a square peg will be put in a square hole. We understand that. But there's a question I need to ask. You have 3 major political parties to contend with. And these political parties, the candidates, they have all it takes to play with. What is your hope that you will beat them?
The candidate village and so on and so forth. The legacy for up now, there's nothing to show for it. How do you intend to turn Edo State around to make it an industrialized state so that there can be employment in the state?
Now, when I was in the student union at the University of Nigeria, Sukan, to be a student union leader, you didn't need to have money. What you needed to have is to be an activist, say the truth, be available, and the students are convinced that you are a true representative of the interests of the students. That's my background. And I became student union secretary general at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. In 1989, we led anti-SAP riot in this country. I was expelled as Secretary General of UNA Student Union after the anti-SAP riot. It was Ganifa Emi of Blessed Memory that followed our case up to the Court of Appeal in Enugu that brought us back to the university and we were able to graduate. It is with that spirit of student unionism that you don't need money. What you need is idea and conviction that I entered active politics. In 1997, I became the youngest person in this state, in the whole of Edo State. To the extent the issue of age became an issue in the tribunal because they said I was too young to be council chairman. I became the youngest person ever in Edo State to become chairman of council. I did not have 5,000 naira, but I believed in myself. I believed in the people. I served as party secretary at the ward level and at the local government level. It got to a point that the people said, secretary of SDP, administrative secretary of PDM, later the UNCP. They came together and put me forward as the candidate of the UNCP. I didn't have 5,000 naira. I was a teacher in ICE. My dear sister, with no 5,000 naira in my bank account, I became chairman of council in 1997. What am I trying to say? I don't believe that, you must be a billionaire or you must be a millionaire. If you have an idea and you are able to sell, you are able to sell your ideas, then the people can appreciate who you are and what you can do. So now I'm in this contest, and I've always been in contest not on the basis of my bank account, on the basis that I believe that the people of Nigeria are very reasonable people, that the people of Edo State are very reasonable people, and that if you can take your message to them, they will do a thorough analysis and go for that man that they think is the best, or that woman that they think is the best. Yes, so I became council chairman first time, second time chairman of Agon, and when I campaigned for Osifoh was not a wealthy guy. Now they are rich in the city. At that time they were not rich. He had only 4 seats. His company had about 20 jeeps because his company was a minister. But yes, I believed in him. So my dear sister, I am not basing my contest on my bank account. I am basing on my contest on the historical fact that the people of Edo State know the truth, know the fact, and they want a sincere man or woman to be their governor, to be their leader. So if I'm able to, through you, sell my facts to the people of Edo State, and the people come together and reason that this man is a reasonable man, I think I have no fear that the other two other parties. Now you are not adding Labour Party now as a major political party. Do you know that I was the governorship candidate of Labour Party?
So were you able to sell this fact when you were in Labour Party?
Yes. Now, how did I get to Labour Party? I got to Labour Party at a time when PDP thought that it was only one party in the system, and I said, no, it can't be one party. I went to Labour Party not as a billionaire, but with based on my ideas, and I was there. I contested for Senate in this Edo South senatorial district. I contested for governorship on the platform of Labour Party. In this, I was the candidate in the last election. Okay, fine. So the fact that I was doing that is because I believe the people will elect a governor not on the basis of the platform of a party or the basis of his bank account, on the basis of what he can present to the people. Now, let me tell you, my dear sister, today Labour Party has become a major party, not because of the candidate or the party, but because of the decision of the people to say a time has come for us to go for a change. To go for a change. In the southeast of Nigeria, where Peter Obi got over 90%, there was no Labour Party secretariat. They didn't have office. But the people said, the time has come for us to go for a change. That this man, when he was governor, he did well. And if we elect him as a president, he will do well. So now, the people you now see today in Labour Party, we are not there where we were forming the political party. So I want to appeal to you that my contest on the platform of All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA, it is not on the strength that the party is big or the party is so worthy, but I just believe that if you assist us for SM on the Rent to take the message to the people, to begin to look at these candidates, on the basis of their resume, political resume, academic resume, moral resume, I think Edo people are very wise people. They have always voted for the right thing. The last election was demonstrated in this state. Labour Party, I campaigned, I spent my money, I financed candidates here. But let me tell you, we didn't have up to 10% of what the other parties have. But when the result came, you saw what happened. So I believe Edo people are very wise people. They are very intelligent people. What they need to do is to look at the candidate's profile and see who among these candidates. So I'm not party freak. That people will say, oh, I belong to party A, I must die with party A. I belong to party B, I must die with party B. I am a man who believes in social democracy, social ideology. Any party that can offer that to the people, that is where I belong. Let me tell you, there was a time in this state, for you to be a member of PDP, you need to lobby to have a party card. It was as bad as that. But today it has changed. We had that experience. Some of us have to leave PDP when it became a property that for you to have a party card, you must go through a process of payment and lobbying to be able to have a party card. What led to ACD? People were deregistered. Members of PDP were not given membership card. Out of frustration, they have to leave for somewhere. That was what led to ACD that became ACN, that is still part of APC that we have today. So I want to appeal to you for Estate of the Rain that when you educate the electors are very educated. They know the fact that it is not about the name of the party. It is about the credibility of the man that is asking for the job. So I assure you that by the grace of God, I will be there for the people of Edo State. My brother, you asked about
employment and industrialization. Commercialization and industrialization of Edo State.
Yes. Let me tell you, we can have. Okay. We can have a lot of opportunities if you have the right man as the governor of Edo State. Now, it is very easy to raise the industrial base of Edo State. First, we are already a ready base, which is the agro sector. Edo State is an agricultural state where we have a lot of fertile land and resources that can bring about a lot of money for the state. Now, I'll give you an example. I was at Agbede, and people told me, Agbede farm that was established by Bermuda, 4,000 hectares. Is still there fallow. The people are so responsible, they didn't trespass into the land. If you cultivate 4,000 hectares of rice plantation, it will be enough to go around the entire Edo State, and we have surplus to sell to others. Now, industrialization can only come when you have an industrial base. What is industrial base? The raw materials and the technology. Now, you have a ready one that you can just take easily, which is the agriculture. Edo State can become a major producer of rice. Even if you don't export rice, you make it a domestic trade that will be sold to Edo indigenes and Nigerians, as the case may be. It will raise billions of naira for the government, and it will raise thousands of employment for the people. 4,000 hectares. Let us economize that. You put one worker in, that is 2 hectares to one worker. That means we're going to generate 2,000 jobs from the farm. And the processing, the distribution. So at the end of the day, if you revive Agbede Rice Farm, you'll be creating no less than 2,500 jobs. Now, not only Agbede Rice Farm, Anagbete, Ugochi, Agenebode, Ilushi, Ekpoma, even part of Benin. These are rice beds. Today, you are buying a bag of rice for 70,000-80,000 naira. Just imagine if you revolutionize the production of rice, the price will come down. Government will raise income for the farmers and will raise income for government. Now, look at cocoa. Cocoa is an export crop. Look at pineapple. Pineapple is an export crop. Look at banana. Banana is an export crop. Now, short season crops that can create employment in agriculture are so many. Every flour mill used to be one of the biggest employer of labor in this state. It is gone. What is the major raw material for every flour mill? Maize. Maize for the flour. But today, the every flour mill is so we will develop agriculture. Now, when you develop agriculture, then the driver of the economy, which is energy, is God has given it to us. Edo State is an oil producing state. Edo State is an oil producing state. Orion local government, Ikobaha, and Obianotis. I was in Orion yesterday. I spent so many hours there yesterday. You're a journalist. You are exposed. Do you believe that a black man cannot refine petrol? No. You believe that a black man cannot refine petrol? Let me tell you, sir. I went to University of Nigeria, Asuka, where our motto to restore the dignity of man. We believe that anything a white man can do, Usuka person can do it. Yes. In any department. So you don't need a rocket science for a refinery, a functional refinery that can refine crude oil into PMS, diesel, and kerosene. Now, they have put us in trouble Today, I bought a liter of fuel for 890 naira for a liter in an oil producing state. Sir, if we refine our crude oil in Edo State with a modular refinery, we will be creating thousands of jobs, we will be creating income for the government, and we will be creating basis for industrialization. Solar energy. If the hydro electricity is becoming problematic, the scientists have simplified other means with which you can have energy. Solar energy is a very simple science. The batteries and the panel. Usuka, the Department of Physics in Usuka, long ago have been doing research in solar energy. If we cannot do hydro, why not multiply these solar panels and batteries? Make it cheap, make it affordable, then you cannot create electricity for homes and for industries. The solar energy will be giving jobs, it will be giving income, and it will be industrializing the city. Now, water supply. I have a friend who's a geologist. Institute of Water. He said, look, people don't know that you can make more money from water than petrol. If you develop your water system, you are able to supply water to the population that you have in Edo State. The water board will be generating billions of naira as income, and we're creating thousands of jobs. Now, road construction. Today, they will tell you 1 billion naira for 1 kilometer. If it's even difficult, it's impossible. What are the materials required for road construction? Stones, very surplus in Edo North. From Agbede to Okpila to Igara, all are stones. Bitumen is in Obia Northeast. Let me tell you, for your information, if you are not aware, the bitumen reserve in the Ondo Obia Northeast is the second in the world after Canada. Yes. There's a bitumen machine at Brusale Port. It's here to take up for processing of bitumen. We have bitumen, we can't tie our roads, we can't do our roads. I tell you, we will exploit our materials around us. We have stones, we have bitumen, we should be able to do our road. And the Ministry of Works will be decentralized into the 18 local government areas where we will create thousands of jobs for young men and women to work in Ministry of Work, and they still have profit left for you to attack other sectors of the economy. Of course, health. You can make money from health. Not necessarily that you'll be charging in the hospital. If you have a central pharmacy, you can give drugs cheap to patent medicine at the hospital and still be able to make profit from central pharmacy. There was blended pharmaceutical industry in this state. So people see this is as miracle. Sports development. Now you can even say you even not make money from sports. If you develop the youth and get them young and expose them to the world, they can be bought in millions of pounds and dollars that can even generate revenue. Let me tell you, Uwonda is the first local government in Edo State to represent international community in an international football. We went to Norway in 2001 to represent Nigeria in an international youth soccer. We won the trophy. The trophy is in government hands. So all these sectors are all available for us to harness. But unfortunately, the leadership is not interested. Our roads are not passable. I went to Rome yesterday. I go home now o'clock in the night because the roads are in terrible state. Now we have crude oil in Obe, in Igwelaba, Orogo. We have crude oil in Edo State. We are buying a liter of fuel for 890 naira. And people say we are going to continue like that. I don't think so. We will have our refinery. It is not difficult to have refinery. These boys in the creek are refining petrol, and you are burning their drums. Let me tell you, in science, you start from basics. So if they are not doing it right, you bring in ethics to make sure that you have a quality process of doing it so that they will be burning the farms or the burning forest. That is technology. It has a foundation. So people are already having diesel and all this thing. You can bring in a quality petrol, PMS and diesel by sending people who are already graduates in chemical engineering, in physics, for a training in 3 months in Qatar. For a very cheap country. Not Texas now, maybe America will be expensive. Qatar will be ready to even train them for you free, and they will come back here. They will refine your petrol. If just imagine if we are refining our crude oil in Obe, or we are converting our gas to domestic use in Obe, you will create thousands of jobs. You will create so much money for the government of Edo State. So industrialization is a simple process, which I think we can achieve. But what you need is the mentality that it is doable, the discipline of allocating resources, and not to be stealing government funds. If you allocate resources credibly, you'll be able to tackle these sectors, and at the end of the day, you generate an industrial hub whereby industries will spring up. Private sectors will now operate these sectors. What they need to do is to pay tax. But the people that are paying tax in the are hoteliers. They are hoteliers collecting revenue from wheelbarrow pusher. That's not how to get money. You can get money if you create an industrial base. From industrial base, they are privatized and they pay real tax for what they are generating, and you will have enough money to attack social sectors like in health, education, youth and sports that brings about happiness and beauty to the society. A passenger shipping minor company that will be taking passengers from Gelegele to Lagos. If you go to Hall, where I schooled, there's a Hall, it's the hall for shipping. If you do an agreement with them and say, bring some passenger ships that can carry 200, 300 passengers, they will bring some that will have compartment for security because of piracy and all that. Then you can start with that. When people know that they can go to Gelegele here with less than 1,000 naira, you can get to the harbor in Gelegele, and you're going to board a ship for maybe 1,500 or 2,000. In 2 hours you are in Lagos, and there's security. They'll start patronizing the ship. Small boat now, not really a ship, that can carry 300 passengers. In 2 hours it's already in Lagos, okay, with complement of security. And to get security very easy. You don't need to look for navy. When you look for riverine young men that have grown up in the riverine area, that are experts in waterways, because those who are coming to attack the boat are equally from the area. So they know that they are the ones that are equally the security. There is that tendency to say we are not going to succeed because our boys are in that particular ship. So you provide security for them. In less than 2 hours you are in Lagos. The man who is taking vehicle from here to Ore with all the go through and bad road, the man who has gone to Gelegele is already in Lagos. Then you create the awareness. That starts generating revenue for the company and for the state. Then from there, you can now develop ships that can bring heavy duty ship that can anchor in Gelegele, bringing goods. Yes, it's a strategic location because most of those importers are in the southeast. They will prefer to come here instead of going to Lagos. But you need to develop the infrastructure, develop all what is required, and you get the license. Before then, why not take it as an incremental thing, one step after the other? So in 8 years, they didn't achieve anything. So I am very close to the job people, and I have discussed with them that we can create job opportunity from fishing and from transportation, because by the time people now have confidence in this travelers mini ship going from Gelegele to Lagos, maybe 2 trips in a day, and 2 from Lagos, instead of going to pay 30,000 naira for transport, you have less than 3,000-4,000 naira, you are in Lagos. People will take it. You give them the vest, make sure that yes, you provide safety measures to create that confidence. For example, I'm water freak, they don't want to travel on the sea, but by the time you create that confidence in them, I've been to a place in Dubai, tourists, they take you on a ship ride around the sea in Dubai. We also be on the ship because we are confident that we are protected. They gave you a safety vest, divers are around the place in case of any accident, and people are enjoying it. So why can't we commercialize it here, so passengers will be paying 20,000 naira to Lagos, that will less than 3,000-4,000 naira you are in Lagos. I bet you, my dear brother, you will be generating millions of naira every day from the company. Then after that, you can now begin to develop where a bigger ship can anchor, especially because of the strategic location of people in the southeast, because they are still dredging River Niger. They've not been able to get through River Niger, so they will do their mathematics between Onitsha and Port Harcourt and between Onitsha and Gelegele. This place is closer, so even if it's just Onitsha and Owerri passengers that you are servicing, we will have a busy company. So it is doable, it is feasible, but it has to be one step after the other. What I already have in mind is passenger speedboat that will be carrying passengers in less than 2 hours here in Lagos, with security, with divers in case of accident. And when you now provide this safety, people don't have confidence that they can have a smooth ride to Lagos. You can't go and be going through the rigors of all this road wahala and so we are into that. Yeah, you were talking about
security.
Yes.
Sorry, sir, before
Yeah.
you go to security, are you not saying that what the governors are telling us about the Gelegele seaport is not of land?
They have not done anything practical there. They have not done anything practicable there. It's only a mere proposal, a mere word, a mere say. They've not done anything there. You can take a drive to Gelegele. There is something that is going on there. But I like a practicable thing. If you are asking that ships with goods come and harbor in Gelegele, why not start with the small passenger boat that can be going to and fro from Lagos? Let me tell you, by the time the passengers develop confidence in traveling by water, and you are getting millions of naira daily from that venture, then you will have enough confidence and resources to approach the federal government. But you need the license anyway. To say, okay, let's make it a full-fledged shipping yard where big seaport, where big ships will come and anchor. We have a lot of people from Edo State who are into import and export. Yes, there are a lot of people from Edo State, and I know that Onitsha is very close to us. Onitsha is very close to us. Onitsha businessman would prefer to come here to take the than to go to Lagos because of the distance. It's a business opportunity, a big one, but you need sincerity of purpose, and for you to demonstrate that you are sincere, it has to be incremental. Now the issue of insecurity. You see, I was talking to some people this afternoon. Part of my studies, international security studies. I developed interest in security studies because of the electricity to Osifoh, which was a problem that I needed to solve. When I got to council in 1997, Osifoh didn't have light. What was the problem? It was a lot of vandals. They tried to shrink the light from Iroquois. Vandals, there was no kidnapping, they were stealing cables, high tension cables. So we needed to provide vigilante to protect our cables. We succeeded, and I gave Osifoh electricity. From my interaction with the police, with the vigilante, and I developed interest in security studies. So in my PhD thesis, my narrow area is international security studies. And for almost 8 years, I taught in the Governorship University. I was the one that was teaching security studies, civil military relations. I was the only one that was teaching it for 8 years in the Governorship University. I'm an expert in that field. Now, sir, it is very simple to provide security to our people. First, the community must have confidence in government. When the community have, because these thieves and kidnappers and dangerous people, they are not really with it. They don't operate on the sky. They have to have a base. Now, when the base is not comfortable, they cannot operate. Now, it is a kind of relationship between the man on the ground and the one that is coming. They cannot do it without cooperation of some few elements that are on ground. Now, when those that are on ground know that the local government, the state government, is too sophisticated in terms of policing the community, they will not want to offer them the services of alliance between the local man on ground and the invader. Now, when they don't have the local man on ground, they run the risk of getting into trouble if they want to do it on their own. So the first thing you need to do is to restore confidence in the people that this government is your government. This government is ready to protect you. And when you are not going to employ this local vigilante, they should be based in these communities, expose them to training, make them to have confidence, make them to be part of government, and supply them all the materials that they require. Do you know that there's a community in Edo State that is specialist in sniffer dogs? That is what they do. They release a dog into any forest. No matter where that person is standing or hiding, even if it is an animal, rabbit or antelope, the dog is going right there to chase anything, any object that is strange to that environment. Sniffer dogs. So there's a community that is doing this in Edo State. I know them. For security reasons, I'm keeping it to myself. If you get sniffer dogs, you involve local, impartial, non-partisan vigilante, well trained and well mobilized. Our vigilante were well trained, they were well mobilized, they were impartial. In my 2 terms as chairman of council, my vigilante did not attack any person in the Wunde local government area, because that is not the job that was given to you. So if you make them impartial, well trained, with sniffer dogs and launch a drone. There is mini drone, just the time you use in recording in marriages, like a bigger one. Now when you launch into the forest, no matter the thickness of the forest, the drone is going to tell the vigilante member the location of the criminals. These things are not expensive. We can tackle our security problem because things that don't come from that particular area always find it difficult to operate. So yes, so when you use those community boys and girls as informants, the boys as combatants, and they are well paid, they are well mobilized, and they are confident that government has respect for them because of the good job that they are doing. I tell you, terrorism and kidnapping will be out of our forest and out of our highway, but not in isolation with the security agencies. Yes. And I discovered one thing, that the security agencies, 90% of them are good men and women. So when they see a good government working, they give you maximum cooperation. Yes, give maximum support. So when you do it, it becomes a partnership, because these security men too don't want to get into trouble. They are not comfortable when people are attacked or people are kidnapped. So but if they see a government that is cooperating with them and the man is sincere, is impartial, you become their best friend. That I have studied in my own security studies. That's why from the lowest echelon in the security agency to the highest, I am connected to them because they know the type of work that I do. That this is not a politician who is looking for thugs to attack people. This is a politician who is looking for people that can protect lives and property. So it is possible, it is achievable that those states will get rid of criminal past and whatever, by whichever day they go, and you make the place uncomfortable for them. Once you do that, they will give you the maximum cooperation. The community must trust the governor. The community must trust the local government chairman. Trust is very important in security surveillance. Once they trust you that they will give you information, you are not going to be a stupid governor who's going to expose them. They trust the chairman, they trust the governor. You have solved 50% of the security problem. And when you now bring in resources, men and material to do the combat, vehicular movement, radio, we had from Kaduna on radio, I was talking to my vigilante here. Yes, of course, yes. From Kaduna, I will use my radio in my car to be talking to my vigilante in Ubuyaya, in Uyi, in Ugoneki. So these equipment are not expensive, and I'm surprised that still vigilante all over the place. They are relying on GSM phone. Sometimes when the network fails, you cannot communicate. You don't rely on GSM phone. You rely on radio linked, so that a vigilante in Benin should pick his radio and talk to the vigilante in the Gara. There was a central connection for us in one day linked to the police radio, and that if you do anything in any part of one day, before you drive 10 kilometers, we'll trace you and we'll catch you. These equipment are not expensive. If a chairman of council could afford that to make sure that I was able to provide electricity to a hall, why would that be a problem for the governor that will be coordinating the 18 local government areas, and there will be security in all the 18 local government areas? Kidnapping, terrorism, herdsmen in the forest and all that, we will wipe them out. And let me tell you, the criminals in the society are always very few. There are a lot of outside men and women that are doing genuine jobs. They too don't want criminals to come and swear their business. It's only when you fold their arms, they will be watching. If they see active and sincere government, they are ready to give you the maximum cooperation in terms of information. If a Fulani man is going to come to Benin to come and swear in cow business, they will be the first to expose the person. If they have a serious, sincere government that is really committed to secure. But if they are afraid that you will say that they don't trust you, they will just play along and pretend they don't know what is happening. So these businessmen too don't want insecurity. The real cattle dealers that are really in business, they don't want kidnappers. They don't want these terrorists all over the place. Because you are spoiling their business. So they are ready to give you the cooperation, but you must show to them that you are a honest man that is ready to do business with them. So insecurity will be a thing of the past, because it is the people and the security agencies. Security agencies cannot do anything if they have no cooperation of the people, and the people can only cooperate if they have a government that they can trust. We started some water project in Edo State. They are still quarreling among themselves. The day they are friends, they don't talk about it. When they quarrel, it will remind you some water project. After I left it, this one said it brought 25 billion. I said it brought 5 billion. We are talking about 30 billion. Up till now, they have not been able to account for it. So a project that is designed to steal the money of Edo people, how cannot continue with such a project. But any project that is designed genuinely for the welfare and development of the people, you must continue with such a project.
Thank you very much, sir. The health sector, as we speak in Edo today, there is no functioning specialist hospital that is for the poor. You know, I just lost a cousin. What happened? He was rushed to a specialist, no bed. He was rushed to UBT, no bed. They have to take him to private hospital. Fortunately, he died. What are you going to do? Because a government who pulled down a central hospital, health is very unaffordable now. I was watching a documentary, Yobe State. They did a research and found out that there were kidney problems, very prevalent kidney problems in Yobe State. And the governor has built 8 specialist hospitals for kidney patients. We don't have such in Edo.
An essential service to the community. Now, I continue to talk about this health on several occasions, many fora where I have attended on health talk. The first thing you must know about health, sir, is not the size of the building. What makes an effective health care is the personnel and the equipment, which include drugs. Personnel and the equipment, which include drugs. It is not the size of the building. If you go to the UK, NHS, they are just sometimes 2 rooms and a parlor. But they have all the drugs. They have all the equipment. The doctor and the nurse. Now, it is unfortunate. They give us the impression that health equipment is very expensive. The building must be a tall building. It must be a skyscraper of about 20 floors. It is not the size of the building that gives you quality health care. 2 things you need for health: the personnel and the drugs. Once you're able to have this, you now have laid a foundation for health care. I am speaking from experience as a chairman of council who had rural communities that were not having opportunity to go to central hospital. So it was a big deal when I released money for them to go and buy lantern, because they said because most women who fall into labor is most cases in the night.
Yes.
Lantern was not in the health center. So lantern was an achievement in 1997. It was an achievement in 1997. But the people were so happy, and I was surprised. So what we need, sir, is the attitude towards the basic necessity that can give good health. A good environment, not necessarily a tall building, a skyscraper. Basic environment. The lab, the pharmacist, and all that equipment, then a doctor and nurses. These are not expensive too. A 10-bedroom house can give you a mini hospital. 10-bedroom house can give you a mini hospital. And instead of the old attitude of still central hospital, where everybody from upper, from Wode, from Igobasewa, no, it's outdated. Decentralize it with basic buildings, 20 rooms, 5 for the men, 15 for the women, or 10 for the women, 5 for the pediatrics patients, the children. A doctor and a nurse, a pharmacist, or a basic lab house. There you can have a standard health center or a standard hospital if you are not a corrupt governor with 50 million naira. Now, population wise, you can say, okay, Ikobaka has so much population, put 10 in Ikobaka, put 3 in order in that order. So a government that is not corrupt, if by the time you spend 2-3 billion naira on the health sector, you have been able to provide basic health facilities that can attend to the people of Edo State. Then what you now do is to have a one central referral center, just one, And before you can even think of a referral, it must be a serious ailment that does not even require like maybe accident. That's not because cancer is not an emergency. So anything that is not an emergency, the basic cottage hospitals spread across the cities, spread across the local government area can attend to these challenges. What are the basic requirements? A doctor, a nurse, a pharmacist, a lab, the bed. So I want to assure you, sir, that this issue of skyscraper to give the impression of, oh, we have spent 10 billion. You don't need that. That is all deceit. What we need is basic hospitals, doctors, nurses, lab scientists, laboratory scientists, a pharmacy, and there should, let me tell you, there was blended pharmaceutical industry. We should have a central pharmacy. It's part of my focus if I'm elected as governor. We will revive that old blended central pharmacy where you have all quality drugs. And what brought about the idea? Patent medicine. Every time they come to attack them, you are selling fake drugs. If you have a central pharmacy where these patent medicine are coming to buy, will they have access to fake drugs?
No.
And what does it cost to have a central pharmacy? With less than 300 million naira, you already have a central pharmacy that will have all quality drugs. It becomes a business where pharmacists will be employed, where laboratory scientists will be employed, and where these patent medicine dealers will have access to quality drugs. And then the government hospitals will have a dispensary where you can take from the central store and distribute to all these centers. But they will go and invest billions in skyscraper, but an empty building without doctors, without consultants, without nurses. But let me tell you, I am the chairman of local government, or of course chairman of chairman, that was instrumental for the appointment of doctors into the local government councils in Edo State. Yes, because we got to a meeting. I asked the deputy governor of Michael Gerement, I said, look, why can't we have doctor? You do know before my time there was no doctor employed in the health centers. I introduced the employment of doctors into health centers at the local government. So they don't have, although they just have one now, which is like the head of health. But the nurses resisted. They were level 14, level 16, level. But once you are a doctor, even if you are level 9, automatically you become the head of department. It was a big deal for us to have doctors in the health centers in the local government. So I believe so much in quality health. I believe that we have young men and women that have been trained in medicine and in pharmacy, in laboratory scientists. And when we have a government that is dedicated, our people are ready to pay a token, a little, that can give them quality health care, quality drugs. Because if you have a central pharmacy, you source from the main source, you have it at a very good rate, and the people can have it at a very, very cheap rate. But the regular ailment like malaria, that's supposed to be free. And there are a lot of pharmacologists who have done a lot of research on effective drugs, but they've been abandoned in the ICAPs. Nobody developed it. Anti-malaria, those are common ailments. But when it comes to surgery, all those complicated ailments, then there are not so many. The doctors, the trained nurses can handle this. So I want to assure you that my achievement in the local government as chairman of APGA that introduced the employment of medical doctor in the local government health center. I believe so much in quality health. I believe it's not expensive. The health care from the UK, like I was telling you, United Kingdom, NHS, 2 room and a parlor. The British man is not looking at the size of the building. They are looking at the quality of the personnel and the drugs that are in there. So we're not going to look at, oh, it must be a skyscraper to deceive the people. Oh, the hospitals are big. We need a cottage hospital, 10 beds, 20 beds, spread across, so that all of us will not be marching to the ring road, or somebody in the hall will not be coming to Benin. If you spread it across the 18 local government area and have a small quarter, come on, the doctors say, oh, they don't get house, they don't get light. You have a small quarters for doctors and nurses. Any young doctor that is employed, we don't want to be going through road every day. You can come on weekend. They will have a good accommodation where they can stay with electricity and everything. The nurses will stay there. They will give quality health to our people. And once you not have quality health spread across the local government, the pressure on your central hospital will reduce. Will do drastically. So health is my priority. But you see, sometimes when I campaign, I don't even talk about this because I feel like they are just basic things. Yeah. That it shouldn't even be an issue. But my contribution to the health sector in Edo State is legendary because it was under my leadership as APGA that we started having doctors in the employment of local government health sectors and health department.
Thank you very much.
Now, there's one thing that I would like to. You didn't ask it, but I want to make this point for your information and for our discussion. For because I need because this is very important. Because it's been bothering me. It has been bothering me, and I want you to be on record. I want this to be on record for your information, sir. When you generate revenue, there are people that should be excluded from paying some taxes or levies to government. I'll give you an example, sir. If a bike rider is paying 200 naira every day to the government in a month, that will give you 6,000 naira in a month. Now, 6,000 naira in a month in a year will give you 72,000 naira in a year. So for a tenure of a governor for 4 years, let's talk 4 years, that will be 288,000 naira. For 4 years, it's over $500,000. Why do you collect $500,000 from a bike rider? So who are the category of people in the state that should have tax exemption? It's an issue that I want people to address. I want to assure you, sir. If I'm elected as governor of Edo State, there will be tax exemption for bike riders. There will be tax exemption for tuk-tuk drivers. Now, when you do tax exemption for this category of people, the money that they are going to save is going to amount to billions of naira. It may sound funny to you. Now, if one motorcycle rider is paying $500,000 for 8 years, or 250,000 for 4 years, then multiply it by the number of bike riders. Now, if one bus driver is paying 400,000 naira in 4 years, multiply it by the number of bus drivers. It is safe. So it rose into billions of naira. Now, yes, what you need to do is to encourage cooperative among these commercial bike riders and these commercial vehicles owners, so that instead of paying that money to government, encourage them to form a cooperative whereby in a year they have billions of naira in their account. Now, when they have billions of naira in their account, what is the implication of that? They can have a fuel sports stations designated for them to have a cheap fuel. So if they have that, instead of buying a liter of petrol for 850 naira, they can buy it at the same price the mega station is selling. Now, if a bike rider is now buying fuel maximum for 600 naira as against 800 naira, he is saving 200 naira per liter. So if he's using 10 liters a day, he's saving 2,000 naira every day. If you multiply that by 30, he's saving 60,000 naira in a month. If you multiply by 12, he's saving 720,000 naira in a year. That is real development for that sector. So there will be this collection for bike riders, for minibus driver, we stop. If it's going to continue, it will be among their union, whereby they will have savings that will create capital base for these motorcycle riders and vehicle riders, so that they can have access to petrol on a controlled price. That is to say, they can own their own petrol station. And get direct supply and be buying for 5 at the mega, it's less than 600 naira a liter. But these guys are paying 850 naira. So you can imagine you will be saving 200 naira per a liter for a motorcycle rider, for a tuke driver. Now this money is coming back to the economy. Somebody may ask, oh, how will the local government get money? The local government will get their money from the internal revenue of the state, which is 10%. The local government is entitled to 10% of internal revenue. So when you industrialize the state is generating billions of naira, and the local government is taking 10%. They will run, their own revenue will run to billions of naira, which will become their own investment in the local government, while giving tax holiday to these motorbike riders, tuke drivers. A time has come that this collection must stop, because economically it will be helpful to them, it will be helpful to the legal society. Because by the time they get fuel for 490 naira a liter, the price of transportation will drop. Yes. So you see the turnaround effect is not only to them, it's to the entire people of Edo State. This point must be emphasized, that we cannot want to exploit people and they think that everybody must buy fuel for 800. But that is just an immediate measure. But by the time we now have our own refinery, I am sure a petrol price liter should not be more than 300 naira a liter, even when it is commercialized. Because you can't have a product in your backyard and be paying so much to be importing it. Under my leadership, if you help me and I don't go elect me, we will refine our petrol, because those states are oil producing states. We have enough petrol, we have enough natural gas in Obe, Northeast, and in Obaka. That sector will be revitalized and revolutionized for the interest of those bike riders, bus owners, and for the interest of the community, those that are using them for movement from one place to the other. I think this was important that you should help me to stress this. That a time has come that this bike rider, the exploitation on them, with this commercial driver must stop. Under my administration, if I'm elected, I will enforce it by the grace of God.
I'm so satisfied. I'm happy that the people of the journalists and those that are interested in the politics of the state to ensure that they assess and speak with the Nigeria candidates in order to assess their manifestos. They are acting on behalf of the people. It makes them patriotic persons, and I really appreciate the interactive session. I'm glad about it. The people of Edo State should be committed to democracy by coming out en masse to vote for a candidate that have credentials for human and material development. It's not just about politics coming to talk and say speeches and you have no evidence of contributing anything to your community. And it is when it's election you just come and begin to tell us you will do this, you will do that. Politics doesn't start with governorship. Give us evidence of what you have done at the grassroots in your community 10 years ago, 5 years ago. If you don't have that evidence, you are just here for business, for your personal interest. So the European must be very, very careful. This is not going to be about the name of a political party or the height of the candidate, but the antecedent of the person that is asking for their vote. What have you done for your community? What have you done for this state? Show us the record that you have done for your people in your own village, in your own community. Charity should begin at home. A man does not have relationship with his community is one that is going to develop the state. So that's why I stand out as the most credible one and the most popular candidate in the contest, because I don't trace my politics to today. I trace my politics to the past. The politics choice should be about what you have done in the past, not a party dress. When you are going to a party, you go to the boss one way you put a dress. Your normal life, your ordinary day life is what people are interested in. Before now, what have you been doing for your community? What have you been doing for this state? So all those who are just rushing from outside of those states because they think that governorship is about go and get money and put in their pocket, I don't should reject them. If you have no evidence of what you have done in your community before, in your own village, you have not done anything for a single man or woman, you have not contributed to the project of your community, or in all this year, you are more than 50 years old, you want a daughter to put by putting big boss all over the junction. Such person should be rejected outrightly. So I trace my politics to my root, and I'm telling the people to assess me not on the basis of my speeches, but on the basis of my antecedent. What have I done in my community? What is my relationship with my community? A community is a community leader. It's not a job for a visitor. When there's election, you come from Lagos, you want to come and give money to villagers to make you governor. Have you been living with the community? Have you been associating with them? Have you been sharing their pains and their pleasures? You will not be part of this community, and you just cannot say that you come and make you the number one person in a community where you don't stay, where you don't have a stake. Your children are not here, your wife is not here. Your investment is not here. They wanted to make you okay. You wanted to make you governor. You govern a state where you have a stake. If you don't have a stake here, why are you asking that they should make you the governor of the state? No, that's the issue, and that's my appeal to the people of Edo State, that they should not get excited and just go and cast their vote because somebody is going to give you 10,000 naira. Trace the background of the person who is asking for your vote. Is he part of this society? If he's not part of this society, there is no way he's going to be interested in the development of this society. So I appeal to them to be very careful and vigilant that these visitors who are just trooping in from nowhere because governorship is about money. It's not about money, it's about service. And you can only convince me that you can serve if you can give me a record of what you have done before, because nobody is in this country that is less than 50 years old. So show us what you have been doing in your community in terms of service. Show us young man or woman that you have helped in your community. If that record is not there, education should reject such persons who are just trooping in from outside because they think that governorship is about coming to collect a allocation of state and begin to own more houses and buy more cars. No, governorship is about service to the people, service to the communities. These people are not members of the communities, and those people who are not members of the community should be rejected outright. They should not fall for a cheat of big balls and campaign slogans. No, trace their antecedents, what have you doing in the past. So if you have not been relating with the people, you don't have a community that can be traced to you or what you have done in your own community, then you are not qualified to be governor of Edo State.
Do you desire a quality media team? Or are you tired of not having memories from your events recorded? Oberland Multi-Choice Media House is here for you. We offer services such as photography and video production and event coverage, news broadcast, graphics design, documentaries, interviews, photo shoot, photo frame, and many more. You can locate us at number 39 Sakpomba Road, Benin City, Edo State, or find us at www.oberlandmagazine.com or send us an email at admin@oberlandmagazine.com, or better still, call us on +39 388 58 62 761 or +234 80 572 10228 or +234 8167 21 0008. Oberland Multi-Choice Media House, making history from your memories.